Hello and welcome to Astro Morning Tea. I'm Luke.
I'm Pikky.
And we're going to be telling you about some of the amazing news stories that have been going on in the world of astronomy this week. So, Pikky, what are we talking about?
Chandra X-ray Observatory has a new hobby. They've been shooting married galaxies.
Married galaxies?
A very bad joke is going to come around. So when two galaxies get too close to each other, one of them...
They have to get married.
Yes, and one of them ends up with a ring around it.
Oh, I know this story. Yeah, it's a good pun. I like it. Yeah, Greg would be proud.
So two galaxies, they collide with each other, and the matter in one of the other galaxies, it moves away towards the sides of the galaxies because of the gravitational force of the first galaxy. And this sort of ignites a way of neutron stars and black hole formation. So there's extra star formation in the outer ring, and that's why when Chandra X-ray Observatory was observing these things, it found this extremely bright X-ray halo around 7 of such galaxies.
Yeah, so I saw this thing, you get these like really pretty images. Someone will put one up now. Yeah. Really pretty images of these galaxies with these big bright rings around them, right? Yeah, and they cause like galaxies smashing into each other can produce these rings, and you get all these stars forming in the ring. Yeah. And those stars then die and they form black holes. And if those black holes are close to other stars, they suck in all the material from the other star and produce lots of X-rays. Yes. And Chandra can see that. So yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah. And they found 7 such ones, and they're also sometimes called ultra-luminous sources, X-ray sources, which means they have X-ray luminosity greater than all of the black holes that are actually known. So,
cool.
Yeah.
What's next then?
The Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. Yes, that's the JAXA. Yeah, they are finally ready to send around a space shuttle to ISS. And on that is a very interesting experiment. So finally, they're going to be testing a space elevator.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one as well. Yeah. It's a very, very small space elevator, right?
10 centimeters by 10 centimeters.
So I saw they have these like two 10-centimeter pico satellite things. Yes. And then they've got like a steel met wire between them. Yeah. And they have a little box that moves back and forth along the wire, which is really cool.
Carbon nanotube.
Yeah. So I don't think it is carbon nanotube yet. They're talking about making them from carbon nanotube. This is just steel. Boring old steel. Yeah. So the idea of building like a space elevator is really cool, right? Where you put a geostationary satellite in orbit and you have it tethered to the Earth by something, and it just goes around the Earth as we go around, and you send people up and down on a lift. But obviously the thing needs to be super, super strong to stay in orbit and not break. So this is like the first test of making one of these things. So it's the first ever elevator in space, but it's like a little box on a cable.
Yes, and it also has to be super light so that it doesn't collapse onto itself because of the gravitational energy of the gravitational pull of the Earth, and also because the whole thing is rotating so fast. So let's see if this test works.
Yeah, so soon we'll be just going up and down in elevators to space, which would be pretty cool. Cool for space tourism, right? Just go in and bing and go all the way up and then have a little view and come back down.
Orbit number 5.
Wow, that's really cool. So moving on with our question of the week this week. And this week our question comes from Greg, our roving reporter who's out in the field. He sent in a question, and then Greg has asked, why do we see more stars in the night sky when we look up in the outback over in the city? And to answer the question this week, we have PhD student Robin Cook, who's going to tell us all about it.
From Mount Magnet.
Hello everyone, we're here in Mount Magnet, Badimia land, and we're here for the Astro Rocks Festival. Now, we're about 600 kilometers away from Perth at the moment, and the reason we're out here is because we've got dark skies. We're away from the glow of the city, and so we can see some beautiful things in the sky. You know, we're not just limited to a handful of stars, we've got the Magellanic Clouds, hundreds of stars to look at, and it's going to be a great night. If you can't find yourself getting out of the city, you can always look out for the Astrofest in March next year, and even though it's in the city or near the city, you'll be able to see some great things there too.
Thank you, Robin, for that answer. Now we know all about why we can see stars clearly out in the outback. Random fact of the week.
It is random fact of the week.
Surprised again.
Random introduction to the random fact of the week. Yeah. So the random fact this week is, Pikky, are elephants jumbo?
I know one who's called Jumbo, yes.
You know one who's called Jumbo?
Yes.
You know about Jumbo the elephant?
Yes, he was in my storybook and he worked in a circus.
Amazingly, that's to do with the story this week.
Really?
Yeah. What did your storybook say?
He was a very sad elephant and his mother left him. It's very depressing. I don't think we should go on it.
You don't mean Dumbo?
Maybe.
Dumbo's the Disney elephant.
Yes.
Yeah,
no,
that's Jumbo.
That's a very rude name though, Dumbo.
The poor elephant. Yeah, no, I think he was picked on. He had big ears, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's Dumbo. Yes. No, do you know the word jumbo for something that's big? Like jumbo jet?
Yes,
yeah. So the word jumbo is actually named after an elephant. So the word now that's used in English for very large things, being jumbo, was actually named after one particular elephant who was called Jumbo. So in the 1880s, P.T. Burnham, who is a famous circus owner who traveled around the world, he bought an elephant called Jumbo.
Okay.
And Jumbo became massive. He was really huge. He used to eat tons of food every day, and he got to about 12 foot tall. He was in a show called The Greatest Show on Earth when it toured round. And basically, the word jumbo that we now use is directly just from him. So his name actually comes from a mixture of two Swahili words. He was captured in Africa, in Ethiopia, actually. And his name comes from a mixture of the word jambo, which means hello in Swahili, and jambi, which means chief. So his name was Hello Chief. But we now use the word jumbo all of the time in English to refer to things which are very huge just because of this one massive elephant.
Wow. Is jumbo in the Oxford Dictionary? I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it would be. I haven't checked.
So the elephant came before the word.
Yes, the elephant did well as well to get named. I don't think he was treated very, very well in the circus, but he's lived on forever in the whole of the English language, and now obviously has planes named after him and things, which is really cool. So that's all we have time for this week. So please join us again next week for some more Astro Morning Tea, and we'll hear about all of the new stories going on in the world of science.